Way Prestige Worldwide on the blue, Virtue over on the red. A match I don't think we've actually had in AG, at least not quite some time, given it's Virtue didn't play a couple of weeks ago, and then we had a ban from eHarmony. And is ban from eHarmony still a team? Because I haven't seen them here. It feels like a lot of these teams are starting to fade away.
I feel like they weren't one of the teams that we talked about being separated. I mean, it might be a hiatus thing.
They played 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, it might be a hiatus thing, or I don't know exactly what's going on. I mean, even Prestige Worldwide was away from us for a little bit, but I think they were still playing Open Division and everything at that time. So, probably still scrimming actively and everything. But I don't know. I really don't know what's going on with those guys. Hopefully, we see them back pretty soon because they were looking pretty good. Had a fantastic roster to work with too. So I imagine with time that they would look even better. But to start things off, Toilet Man right now is on a Junkrat, and it looks like he's sticking with it.
Oh, okay. This will be interesting. Yeah, as well. Going to be on the Zarya, so a little bit of a change up from these guys. We're going to see some Roadhog action right away as well from Kraken Lacken. They get into the thick of things. They're not wasting any time here, as it looks like Toilet Man blows up Kraken Lacken right away. That was actually a good bio grenade as well from Zergling to get this fight started. They establish point control here, X, and I'm assuming we're going to see these guys make a move in from the side of Virtue, given that kill came so early.
Yeah, and they're really going to be relying on Zergling here with that Biotic Grenade to shut down Kraken Lacken, because with that health change, it's really all about trying to shut down that heal. Obviously, that damage reduction comes into play as well, but with the Junkrat just applying so much pressure, they should be able to find these kills regardless.
Already a nano boost out here from Heartless. It's going to be onto Nero, but he's not going to be in a good position to really melt anybody down because Red Start opened that fight up with the Pulse Bomb. Now, point control goes over here. Riptide's out as well. Eli going to be dropped. They drop a nano boost onto the Zarya player here, expecting Virtue to continue to move on to the point, but they get a good retreat here. Gonna look to move on here now, maybe with a Graviton Surge.
Yeah, all this was making sure that Zergling popped that nano boost early so that he could actually start generating that back up. They're not going to need it anytime soon because they wanted that Graviton to come up. They need that extra little bit of charge so it would be available for the next fight. Obviously, if they could get that Graviton out in the last fight, it would have meant, more damage inside of it, but they weren't really caring about that. They just wanted to make sure that that utility was there.
Both teams opening up with the same ultimates here. But the Earth Shredder from Prodigy doesn't find anybody. It's the damage from the Red Start on the Tracer in the back who cleans it up here. And Furex, gotta tell you, man, Kraken Lacken has opened up this fight 3 times in a row now with a hook on a Prodigy, and his team has not been able to capitalize on him being so far out of position.
And a big reason as to why is because they're just so good as a team. I just talked about how it didn't matter and that using that boost was so good earlier because look, the Zergling has already got it back. It took him one fight with a great Biotic Grenade to really just surge ahead and get that one going. A good Biotic Grenade to follow up onto Kraken Lacken as well. There, they find a kill onto Red Start, but again, they already have that control, and Prestige Worldwide can now back up, and they can have, again, just that extra little bit of time to get Red Start back into the fray, and that's Eli wasting that ultimate there. They have a nano boost on him as well, and they're going to have no effect on it.
I guess it wasn't the best use, but he got caught in the Junkrat trap here, so he couldn't actually get to a good vantage spot to find any kills here. But nonetheless, they are still looking to dive in deep right now. Kraken Lacken is able to eliminate Tapone, or maybe an opportunity for them to move in here, but I just don't think they have the numbers right now. Kraken Lacken kind of out of position. He does manage to finish off Red Start. Now, they're moving into this in a 4-on-3 situation, favoring Virtue. Graviton Surge out here. Prodigy is so low right now. He's hit by a bio grenade. There's the Riptide connects. It hits 2, but Kraken Lacken gets the nano boost with the whole hog. He's in a good spot right now in the back line. Can he find any kills? We're in overtime right now here. I think Prestige Worldwide have this in the bag. They secure the first round.
Yeah, I mean, no way for them to deal with the Junkrat. There was a couple times where we saw some hooks, like you said, coming out from Kraken Lacken, but just that inability to follow up because everybody on Prestige Worldwide was so good about dealing with any kind of situation that came up. They were just able to adapt so quickly, and again, just their ability to come together as a team and their synergy together is just so apparent. So it's so easy to see that. I mean, Toilet Man typically here would probably go over to a Pharah, but that Junkrat was so scary, he could maybe even just stick to that. We'll have to see if they want to switch him over, but they do. And again, not out of the ordinary, but this dominance is is again kind of expected.
I remember it is a best of 3 here, so another round that goes in favor of Prestige Worldwide will, of course, secure the map for them right now, but some much-needed changes coming out from Virtue, like you had mentioned. We'll see if Eli can deal with Toilet Man in this guy. That's going to be the biggest threat, but right away, he finishes him off, Hurix, and they're just going to lay it on them. Hurix, I don't think Virtue stand much of a chance in this fight whatsoever, so the first points, again, should go to Prestige Worldwide. Don't see them being able to pull this one back.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to just basically submit control to Prestige Worldwide completely, and that's not good against Toilet Man here. They have Eli that's been on this Soldier pretty consistently, but we'll have to see if he's going to be able to actually pump out the damage to put the pressure out enough onto Toilet Man to at least take him out of being in those really favorable situations, the positions that he really wants to be in.
Still looking to capitalize on the fact that Prodigy's a little out of position here. They're going to dive straight back onto him, have a pulse bomb. Maybe Nero can find an opening kill. That would be the entry they need to get on here. Pulse bomb, though, comes out from Red Start. No, it's going to be Nero finding Red Start there. A good Primal Rage pop from Battlemaster, but he was taken down regardless here. Can they capitalize? Zergling comes through with the Resurrect, has the support of the sound barrier, but Prodigy, unfortunately, was out of range of that sound barrier to connect. He was taken down, but the rest of the team, like you had previously said here, they're so good to where even if a single member dies, they're able to clean it up and again maintain control.
I really like the way that they actually kited a lot of that out. Eli was going to be the nail in the coffin, but Prestige Worldwide was so good about just getting up into that guy's face and shutting that ultimate down to make sure that it didn't have the value that it should have had and it would have had against any other team in this tournament.
Gonna take a different approach this time around. They have both support ultimates, but that's not enough to stop Red Star with the pulse bomb to open it up here. They're still looking to engage. I just don't know about it here. With only 70% on the board, they still had plenty of time to get a regroup. They're still looking for the 6-on-5. Now, both Sound Barrier and Transcendence out of the question for Virtue. Looking for a barrage to come out here from Toilet Man once that expires, but he's got a Diva in his face, so he can't really do it. But Prodigy on the back end here, he finds 2 for himself. He cleans it up for the team. Can Nero pull this back? He's got a couple of kills in the bag, but he doesn't have much support outside of Moth right now, who actually skips around. He's trying to run away from the Winston, and that's going to secure a Prestige Worldwide. More than likely, I don't think anybody's able to make it back. Moth does briefly touch it here, but can they make a stand?
Well, Eli forced back as well. I mean, everybody that tries to cross this bridge here is just met by both pistols coming out from Red Star, and finally a kill comes out, but at the expense of Eli himself. And again, holding on here, Zergling with the Resurrect available, probably not going to actually need it. They're just basically finding kill after kill. I mean, they're holding on. Krakenlaken going to be dropped out of mech. Nero with an opportunity here to pull things back, but the Pulse Bomb not going to find anything, and yeah, kills him off there.
And that was pretty much all you could hope for right there. Nero coming through. He's been the playmaker in the fights when they've had those plays come up big, but he's going to be not able to connect onto anything, and Prestige Worldwide secure a 100-0 round. And Taponzor with the play of the game as the Lucio here. Let's see what this is going to be. Some sort of boob, potentially, but no, he's just racking up the kills here. So Prestige Worldwide finding themselves with a 1-0 lead here in the best of 3 finals.
Now going into Gibraltar. As I said before, you know, Gibraltar likely to go Prestige Worldwide, but it's really kind of that map that Virtue has the best shot on. I mean, if they wind up taking it, I still say they lose in the in Nepal, but you know, Gibraltar, I think, should still be Prestige Worldwide. I would be very surprised to see Virtue actually get past the hangar phase, which feels bad to say, but given the history, I mean, it doesn't seem out of the ordinary to expect Prestige Worldwide to make a stop before that hangar phase is over.
I have to agree with that one. I think Virtue will be able to put up some distance, though, as opposed to what we saw from Pom Pom. I mean, Pom Pom almost got the first checkpoint when they really weren't trying, but I don't feel like Prestige Worldwide were really putting forth their best efforts either at that point, knowing that they were kind of just trolling around. So I'd expect Virtue to make some sort of push into that second phase of the map, but have to agree with you on the end that I don't feel they're going to be able to make it all the way at that. So we'll see what they're able to muster up here on offense to get this thing started. If Nero is going to stick with that Tracer, or if he's going to allow Eli to actually go over to that and put himself on the Genji. A bit of a change up in terms of pace of what they're going to be doing here. But Toilet Man currently sitting on the Sombra. We saw this actually come out from him earlier, so
it seems like this is their actual defensive strat. So again, yeah, not something, like you said, that you see all too often, but it's not that crazy if you consider this isn't like changes that we haven't seen before necessarily. I mean, if you look over at Envious, you have a Lucio player who can flex over to Soldier. Obviously, Taponzor is good in his role, but maybe a beta version of what you could expect from Harry Hook. Obviously, that man is out of this world, scary good at hit scan as well. But, you know, still a switch that you can expect from a team like that, maybe just kind of emulating that in some ways here as they're putting their main DPS onto the Sombra. And again, there are some really large health packs for Toilet Man to work off of. The EMP has a great amount of space to work with underneath Car Wash and leading to and coming out of that section of the map as well. So it's not too crazy to expect this to actually be quite a good strat defensively.
And Red start playing very aggressively here in the back, looking to see if maybe they were going to pull out a Widowmaker or some sort of sniper here, but he's not going to really catch anything. Most of Virtue pretty much sticking together, so he's kind of limited in terms of what he's going to be able to pick off. And now that Valmaster actually dives into the back, he knows he needs to be extremely careful right now. We'll see what they want to do right here as Toilet Man wants to get that EMP up as quickly as he can, already at 90% here. He might be able to drop them right under the Car Wash right now with that EMP. We'll see what they want to do, or if they maybe just pull back to that first checkpoint.
Well, the EMP comes out from Toilet Man, and he's already finding a kill just to start things off, looking for Moth to finish up, and they actually wind up winning that fight out completely. 3 minutes remaining here, Storm, and at the moment, it looks like it's all Prestige Worldwide setting up.
Easy for them, I'd have to say. Toilet Man, of course, back up to 35% now and counting, and probably will have that up for the next fight here. And even if he doesn't, they've got so many tools to actually work with right now. And still not too much from the side of Virtue. They're still only at sub 50% on that Transcendence, which is going to really suck. And the fact that Moth is now out of the fight means they're going to have to pull back and waste even more time right now here.
Ponzor up on top here, supporting Zergling a little bit. And, of course, these guys both having their ultimates ready, looking to pull those out together. I mean, Kraken, Lack, and Valmaster, Nero, they're going to really have to get quite aggressive just to try to shut him down. And if that happens, Toilet Man is just going to have that easy opportunity to deal with Heartless, deal with Moth, you know, put some pressure onto those guys, and they're going to be losing their support very early on. So it's a tough choice to make to try to deal with this composition here.
They're going to go right into the back, though, but it's going to be a sound barrier accompanying Nero here with the Dragon Blade. It was into the tactical visor coming out from Taponzor, but he couldn't find anything here. Nonetheless, they still haven't used that EMP. Toilet Man looking for an opportunity to bring it out, but there's just nobody there to really be able to follow up off of this, especially now with Red Star out of the mix and a Transcendence up here. It looks like Virtue have a really good opportunity right now to push the distance, but that payload still has a little bit of ground to actually be covered now. But with Prodigy out of the picture here, I think they're going to be forced to give this one up. They go ahead and drop a self-destruct. Not sure if that was really necessary at this point, Hurix, because I feel like that first checkpoint was actually guaranteed. But no, Toilet Man, he comes back. He brings out the EMP, but nobody is here with the damage to follow through.
And it looks like Red Start, the only person to hang on here, has the pulse bomb, gets the stick, finds a kill with it, and now it's up to Taponzor to try to make sure that they stay in this one, and that's going to be the payload going through. Eli now searching for some kills as he goes forward. Will get the stick on the Prodigy, almost killing himself off, but luckily for Prestige Worldwide, Prodigy hangs on for a little bit. He's going to die off pretty quickly after that, though. But looking at this, I mean, Toilet Man sticking to this. Oh, actually making the swap over to the Genji here. And otherwise, everybody's staying the same. They're not going to have that high ground control, but they don't really need it. They don't have anybody that needs that high ground control at all. They're going to be getting ready to get back into this. And again, calling them out as the team to make the stop in the hangar phase here. We'll have to see if they can actually pull that off.
And I think with Toilet Man now on the Genji, I think that's going to open up a lot more possibilities for them to actually add more pressure. I mean, outside of the EMP, the Sombra wasn't adding too much to that pressure, I'd have to say. from his perspective and what he was able to do there. But they, regardless, lose a couple because of the Dragon Blade from Nero. A good turnaround after initially being down a few members. So good call-outs in terms of ult usage there coming out from Virtue. That sound barrier keeping them alive with the Dragon Blade. Now they're pretty much trudging up here rather quickly here. I mean, only a few meters away from grabbing that second checkpoint. We will see a stand come out here from Prestige Worldwide, but they don't have too much to work with. Red Start looking to charge up that pulse bomb. That's going to be pretty much what they need to save the day here. But even so, a Toilet Man nearing a Dragon Blade as well here. I think they've got this one in the bag. I think Virtue are going to be forced to pull out.
Love to see the pulse bomb comes out, but it gets eaten up. Eli not going to find the value. Kraken Lacken putting them back on the map, though, with 2 kills.
And they still don't even need to use anything else here from the... I mean, they don't have anything else here, because that self-destruct was pretty much what sealed this for the time being. But again, yeah, it's still on the payload. They have a Transcendence coming out from Zergling. That's going to keep them alive right now. No options whatsoever from the side of Virtue, and a Dragon Blade more than likely going to be coming out from Toilet Man once this Transcendence expires here, as he's back in the fray now. Dragon Blade unsheathed, looking for something now, looking for Valmaster. No, he's in the back line. He racks up 2 for himself. This is, man, such back and forth here on the payload here, but so much time is being drained off the clock.
And that's all they're trying to do here. I mean, I don't think they had any intentions of being able to actually win this fight, but forcing ultimates out, forcing time off of the time bank, that's really what this is going for here. And oh man, yeah, almost makes it back up onto that point, but not going to actually be the case. Taponzor wound up using his ultimate in that last fight, which is a little unfortunate, given that they might want to hold on to it. But Virtue actually making their way through that hangar phase, despite looking a little rocky to start things off. They still had a pretty steady pace so far. It's just been kind of close to the close to that wire a little bit, I would say, but still making it through nonetheless.
And you usually don't see that come out there from the side of the offense, where they can sustain that long and the defense doesn't come back with all 6 people. But it was thanks to Nero and Kraken Lacken at that. But Eli opens up the fight with the pulse bomb. They've got a Primal Rage from Valmaster, pushing them back, not allowing them to exit, meaning that payload is really getting close. Their pulse bomb onto Val connects from Red Star. Now they have an opportunity to move forward here, but no, a sound barrier maybe a little late there from Moss. Hopefully would have been able to see him save Valmaster, but nonetheless, it's Toilet Man coming out with the Dragon Blade. He is so far into the backline, nobody on the payload to be able to contest, and this is going to be where Prestige Worldwide back off, look for the full regroup here, and I think Virtue going to be forced to do the same with the limited time they have.
Well, they pull the blade out anyways, and that's going to be a Transcendence forced, which will be able to nullify that aggressive ultimate coming out from Nero, and now it's going to be Kraken Lacken trying to basically LOS away from the potential death of his mech that came from that self-destruct, and now we do see them backing up the really kind of the regroup that they probably should have had about 20 seconds ago. But now coming down, when we see it less than a minute, Heartless, Eli, both with ultimates in tow, and it's really going to come down to the use from Heartless, actually, of that Transcendence. Can they find the value in that healing, find some picks inside of it, or will it get nullified there, and we'll see Red Start maybe find some picks anyways.
And Toilet Man, of course, made that change to Soldier 76, but he's opened up. He's going to be killed off right away here. Eli finds a pulse bomb onto him. He is lighting up the kill feed right now. Even so, Prodigy, with his own Primal Rage, should be able to sustain a little bit longer, but now with Doomfist forced out from Toilet Man, looking for some one-shot potential to get back into this fight here. But no, a Sound Barrier forced out here from Moth. Then it's down to the wire. 20 seconds to go here. They still have a Primal Rage as well from Valmaster. Eli back up to another pulse bomb. Dragon Blade out from Nero. He should be able to clean it up. He did it once at the second checkpoint here. Looking to do it again. They secure a third checkpoint in the bag, and Virtue have made this series really close now. What a performance coming out from their offensive push.
Really, really like the way that they handled themselves in that second phase of the map. And I mean, while they were getting close in every single, at every single point where they wanted to take the objective, it was very close, but still kind of steady in that case. They weren't really lagging behind on any of the sections of the map. They probably went pretty fast in terms of the hangar phase, especially with what we're used to seeing from Prestige Worldwide, but still, it got down to the wire every single time. And obviously a lot can be said about Prestige Worldwide's ability to, you know, keep throwing bodies at the point and really kind of taking time away from the time bank, because that's in nature really kind of a lot of what they did on defense. But outside of that, it was definitely looking like a lot of the control was going the way of Virtue. Now, because of the fact that they finished with 8.6 seconds left, Storm, they do have the opportunity to maybe make another push if it actually does come to that.
See what they want to throw at them. Remember, our third map is Nepal, and Prestige Worldwide had no issues whatsoever on control point on Lijiang Tower, the first map in this best of 3 final, handling them. So if it did go to a game 3, which I don't feel like it will, I feel like this is going to go to a second attempt from both teams. I feel like maybe that defense was just a little bit lackluster from the side of Prestige Worldwide. We'll see what they're able to do here on offense, but I don't know, maybe Virtue has, you know, some momentum underneath themselves right now, some fire going, given the fact that they just, you know, full push. They had 8.6 seconds, not a lot of time, but they would have been given time anyway since it isn't a hybrid map. But we'll see what they can make of it. Nero back on the Genji. I think a lot of this is up to what Eli and Nero can do, because they were big playmakers in that last round. But Toilet Man going to be opening up on the Genji. Gonna match him along with Red Start on that Tracer. We'll see what they can make of it, Hurex.
Man, Toilet Man falling very early on. So much pressure going out to this man at a very early stage. Now they're going to be forced to wait for this man to come back up before they actually make the aggressive push that we like to see coming out from Prestige Worldwide at these typical situations here. But Red Start, nonetheless, still going to try to find some damage off onto these tanks, getting pressured down a little himself, but ultimately still getting away scot-free.
The full dive coming into effect here from the side of Prestige Worldwide. A good sleep dart initially on the, almost got him eliminated, but he's going to be safe for the time being. So they're going to continue to press this advantage here. Given the fact that Nero is now out of the picture, that's going to open up an opportunity, I think, for Toilet Man and Red Start to move in here, especially with Red Start having the pulse bomb. But no, he doesn't find anything. He actually gets quite a bit of damage onto Valmaster, and Prodigy falls through with that kill for himself. Hurex now pretty even numbers across the board, but a nano boost ready to go here from Mach. We'll see who he wants to drop it onto. More than likely going to be Valmaster or Kraken Lack, and given that Nero not ready to go with the Dragon Blade, but what can they do with it? Prodigy out of the picture though. Eli ready to go, charged up with the pulse bomb, if he can get into that back line and find a stick.
Well, this is going to be Zergling's opportunity to drop the Transcendence here. And again, they really need to find some value inside of this. We see the Pulse Bomb coming out from Eli, not going to find anything, and it's going to be Toilet Man instead, who comes through with that blade, finding 2 kills here. And now all they really have to do is deal with Moth here, and if they do that, they will be able to take this checkpoint pretty early on here.
And Kraken Lacken just trying to stall a little bit longer, immediately going to be demec'd and taken care of. So a little bit quicker of a time coming out here from the side of Prestige Worldwide. Virtue don't need to worry by any means at this point, but they're going to have to make some sort of hold here in the second phase of the map. You don't want to see Prestige Worldwide moving through that third phase, Hurex, with 5 minutes. You don't want to see that. So they're going to have to win a team fight right now if they want any chance whatsoever.
And that's going to be pretty tough. I mean, really kind of basically putting all that pressure onto Nero's shoulders, rather, and making sure that they get as much as they can out of a Nano Blade, and that's going to be coming out right now. They finish off Ponzor pretty early, and that's going to be a couple more to follow. That is going to be the team fight that they were looking for, Storm, but now can they have a little bit of momentum? Can they hang on to this? They already are starting off with a staggered kill onto, that's going to be good for them to set things up. But again, they need a little bit more than that to make sure that they steal away enough time to really make sure that that third phase of the map is going to be a little bit tougher for Prestige Worldwide.
I agree. That was a must-win situation right there. But at what cost? They lost the Nano Blades out of the picture. They already used the Primal Rage from Valmaster, who opened up that fight with the kill. He was into the backline, took care of Toilet Man. Thankfully, they don't have to worry about that Dragon Blade. If Nero can find quite a few shurikens and get that Dragon Blade up in a relatively quick manner, they might stand a chance here. Eli, though, not going to be able to connect with a kill, to say the least, for the Pulse Bomb, but looks like Prestige Worldwide opening up with a sound barrier, looking for an opportunity to move in. And now that Kraken Laken's out of the picture, this is going to be the opportunity they need. Toilet Man ready to go with the Dragon Blade, but I don't even think he's going to need it right now here because they have such a man advantage. They forced out an early Transcendence from Heartless, and that's going to be the thing he's been looking for here. Now that, yeah, able to find one for himself with a self-destruct here, Prestige Worldwide going to unleash the Blade now, looking for Heartless. He's out of the picture here, and they're going to cruise on forward. All they need to do is take care of the Diva.
And at this point, Zergling is that backup option with the trap card in his back pocket, ready to pull out that Transcendence at any time if they do need it, but it looks like that's not going to be necessary here. They're going to be moving this through with just under 4 minutes to work with in this final phase of the map. Prodigy with a lot of healing to work with and a lot of aggression going forward. They might be able to find a kill onto Eli pretty late here as Toilet Man is just trying to generate his ultimate. Red Start getting close to having his, and if he can get some value out of his Pulse Bomb here, this will be big. He gets the stick and almost DMX Kraken Laken there, puts him low.
That really would have been the momentum I think that Prestige Worldwide needed to secure right now, but this can be a difficult third checkpoint to actually grab, especially if your enemy team isn't all out of ultimates from the previous couple of fights here. And the fact that they have a Nano Blade ready to go from Nero, we've seen what he's been able to do with it before. Now he's going to be into the back, but it's going to be into the Transcendence coming out from Zergling, going to nullify all of that damage here, so no value coming from that, and Moth is taken down here, but nonetheless, they popped the Primal Rage in the backline. Valmaster trying to do something here, but Heartless again, forced out to use that Transcendence due to one player from the side of Prestige Worldwide here, and so many ultimates being dropped out from the side of the defense. Toilet Man already good to go with another Dragon Blade here. I think they might have it in the bag right now.
Yeah, so much pressure going out onto the supports there. Prodigy and Red Star were insane as Toilet Man pulls out the blade, making sure they can't get through, but Nero denies him at the door. Now looking for Zergling, they are going to be backing them up. Virtue with a great defense, regaining their composure a little bit, and now we're going to be seeing Nero actually swapping out. At the moment he's on a Sombra, but he hasn't moved yet. I'm not sure if they're actually going to be sticking with this or not. Okay, he is going to be going over to a Tracer instead.
That's pretty much what they needed. They need Nero to come up big, but like you had mentioned, he went over to the Tracer, so we'll see what he can actually do with it. I feel like his Genji, and it was doing work, but maybe he just didn't feel like it was in the right place, especially with Prodigy doing so much work onto him. But nonetheless, the kills are coming here for the side of Prestige Worldwide. They have a Transcendence if they need it. We'll see what they want to drop. And the fact that Kraken Laken now is out of the mech, that's going to be a big opportunity for them to move in. They're funneling back onto the payload. Not what you want to see right now here, with still 140 to go. But Heartless with the Transcendence, able to keep them at bay for the time being. Maybe allow for a bit of aggression to come through here. But Zergling now moving forward with his own Transcendence. Nothing else to work with from either team. This could be rough for Prestige Worldwide if they want to capture right now.
And so far, that Soldier pick hasn't really done all too much for them. We do finally see the Tac Visor pulled out as Toilet Man is trying to get some value out of his blade. Gets denied pretty much all throughout that entire ultimate. And now it's going to be back and forth yet again here as, yeah, tries to get things to go their way a little bit as he puts that self-destruct up, gets back up in his mech as he didn't get anything out of that at all. And now Taponzor with the Sound Barrier, that gets drained so quickly. They need to find the kills here.
And again, it's back to the drawing board, I think, with 50 seconds to go because you don't have anything to work with. Prestige Worldwide are still funneling into this, trying their best, but Virtue with such a spawn advantage right now here, and they're making the kills even right now. They're trading, which clearly favors them right now. And there's Nero in the back line with the Pulse Bomb stick onto Zergling, and that will definitely force them back to one final push here. So I don't believe it. Virtue on the verge here of forcing this to a game number 3. One team fight will seal it.
And that'll be so insane if that actually happens, because on top of that, I mean, obviously Lijiang Tower is a map that Prestige Worldwide pretty much wins in consolation. I mean, not consolation, but I mean, they win it. There's not a chance that, you know, anybody's going to take that from them, at least at this tier. But, you know, going into this map, I said this is the one that Virtue could take. Nepal likely to go Prestige Worldwide, but it's a lot less sure than something like Lijiang Tower. So I don't know, Virtue looking this good on Gibraltar, they might actually have a shot going into map 3 if they can hold off here.
Especially since Eli has the pressure of the attack visor, but no, yeah, it's going to be in his face with the defense matrix into the spawn here. Still, we're in overtime right now. It's going to be up to Virtue to make the hold to push it to a game number 3. Hurix, the ranking in the kills right now. Toilet Man out of the picture. He was holding on to tactical visor now. Hurix, it's only, yeah, on the payload. Red Star trying to get back in here now. He's not going to make it back in. Virtue taking watch point. Gibraltar going to force it to a third and final game of the night, guys, on Nepal of all maps. And Nero with that play of the game, definitely well deserved from his end.
I mean, this is when they were able to just move through that chip phase. I think this is actually when this was on attack phase, actually, when they were just looking for control and they were able to take everybody out so easily, so seamlessly, and then move themselves into that last phase. After, getting delayed a little bit. But here's the thing. I think this is the first time that we've seen, certainly at least recently, but maybe just at all, in AG, a map getting dropped by Prestige Worldwide. I mean, I can't
100%.
Remember the last time that has happened, personally.
Yeah, I mean, the last 3 weeks, 100%. In the past, before they got to this current level, I believe we'd seen them lost. I mean, they haven't won every AG they've ever played in. So, that being said, a third and final map of the evening here. It's going to be Nepal. It's going to be a best of 3 Hurix. And got to ask you, what are you thinking? I mean, of course, you had mentioned you think Prestige Worldwide are going to take it, given their dominance on Lijiang Tower. But Virtue, they've got momentum. What do they need to do to be able to turn this around?
Try their best to get the most out of Sanctum and pray for Village. I think is the best possible scenario. If it goes to Shrine, I think Prestige Worldwide is going to be a little too scary on that one. Close quarters, they're just frightening with Tracer Genji. Village is going to be a different question. Maybe Toilet Man brings out that Pharah again, and that's going to look a lot like Garden before, where, again, not that close of a match. Whereas Sanctum, that's a little bit more up in the air. You can definitely expect to see a little bit of Junkrat on that map, perhaps from Toilet Man. It's a map that you would see it in the past from them, and now that Junkrat's even better, I would expect it. But with Eli and Nero picking up Soldier and Tracer respectively, I think that they have a shot at Sanctum. If they can stay away from that pressure from Junkrat and shut that pick down, they might have an opportunity on that map. But here on Village, this one I would say is a toss-up. Shrine definitely going to go Sanctum, and it's all in on Sanctum. It's all completely, in my opinion, in Virtue's hands if they can deal with the Junkrat that's likely to come out from Toilet Man.
That's the real question. It's the real question. What are they going to be bringing to the table? And it looks like we're headed to Village. Final reminder, guys. I guess I'm so used to saying final reminder for Matcherino, but we don't have Matcherino coupon codes here tonight, and nobody used the coupon codes from the previous few weeks, so they're just battling it out for a Haste $100 prize pool here tonight. But that being said, we are underway. Let's take a look at what we've got across the board. Nero back to the Tracer, Eli back to that 76, as opposed to what they were running before with the Genji Tracer Hurix, but nonetheless, taking a lot of pressure early on here. We'll see who's able to get into that backline right away. Balmaster taken down by Toilet Man. He's way back there, way deep. He's going to look to press this advantage.
Now Zergling holding on a little bit, but already that early pressure from Eli and Nero together has just been insane. And that's what I was talking about before. If they can get this same thing on Sanctum, then, like I said, they have a shot here on this third map. It was really just Gibraltar that should have gone the way of Prestige Worldwide if they were hoping to just shut this down. Now, Virtue with a real shot at this series.
Kraken is out of mech right now. Not going to be out of it for too much longer, so they need to press this advantage right here, right now. Maybe waiting for Red Start to get that pulse bomb charged up. We'll see what they want to do with it, but it's going to be up to him to get this fight off to a good start for themselves. But Nero drops Pulse Bomb, isn't able to find anything. Good speed boost coming out there from Taponzor to get them to safety now as they have a tactical visor. Eli drops this one. Does he have a diva in his face, though? It looks like, yeah, trying to mitigate some of that damage, but no one actually being taken down from that one here. I think that's a win for Prestige Worldwide. Now, Sound barrier comes out from Taponzor. Toilet Man here with the Dragon Blade trying to find something. Has the support of the Transcendence as well. They have the numbers, the 6-on-5 advantage as the first kill now comes through here. But the Dragon Blade doesn't accomplish too much here. Even though they have the numbers, they should be able to secure the point.
Yeah, that was really actually great control onto Toilet Man. We did see Moth getting involved in that one, pushing him back after an initial dodge coming out from Nero from that blade. Basically made sure that they couldn't get anything out of that Swift Strike. The mobility taken away definitely shut it down. But there is an awesome opening pick from Eli to take out Red Star and also denying that pulse bomb as he was a little bit too slippery there for him, Storm. But now we're going to be seeing if Virtue can do anything with this.
Just way out of position there. He was looking for a pulse bomb kill and just he just got caught out. That's not what you want to see because now you're at a disadvantage majorly for your team, and they're just going to be able to mop it up without using anything other than that sound barrier and the self-destruct here. So they don't have to drop that tactical visor. Thankfully, though, at least some percentage was put on the board for Prestige Worldwide. So they're sitting at 41. Not a terrible spot to be in right now, but at the current rate, with attack visor from Eli, if he can find some pressure, if he can open it up with the kill or Nero's pulse bomb that's coming up soon here, they're going to be in a terrific position to be able to secure this first round. It's a best of 3, so every fight going to really count here.
Yeah, I don't see how Virtue could potentially lose this at all. I mean, with what they have on the board for ultimates, there's really no way, and especially the fact that they didn't have to even use ultimates to get the control that they have already. Red Start falling. It's at 80%. There's one more shot here left for Prestige Worldwide, and they're going to be basically relying here on Toilet Man, who dies off late.
Oh, no.
Man.
That is the worst possible thing you could be doing right there. Should have died with the rest of their team or just found a way to get to safety. Now, they're going to be forced to push into this in a 5-on-6 situation. And Toilet Man is one of the people with an ultimate. He's going to be back into the mix soon here. But no, Transcendence is out here from Heartless. Maybe a little early given the fact that Toilet Man hadn't actually unsheathed the blade. But no, here's a Pulse Bomb out. Pulse Bomb from Red Star. He picks off 2 as Eli had the tactical visor. Is it enough? Toilet Man now with the Dragon Blade trying to pull it back in their favor, but doesn't really find too much. It's Prodigy with the kills. They get the D-Mech as well. And man, Prestige Worldwide pull it back thanks to Red Star coming out with that Pulse Bomb.
Really, Red Star just saving the day for him there, and now they're going to have to rely on him again because they have to work into Moth's sound barrier coming up next. Luckily for them, they do have a couple of options coming up for delaying Prodigy with that Primal Rage coming up pretty soon. A lot of damage going out into Valmaster, so they do have that extra little bit of an advantage as well with Zergling with the Transcendence ready to go. I mean, they're hopefully going to not have to use this all too soon at all.
Well, it is an even trade as Zenyatta's are out of the question here, but they don't have a sound barrier coming out here from the side of Prestige Worldwide, so this is going to be tough for them to hold off. We'll see if Nero can find a Pulse Bomb to bring this back in their favor, but no, he actually does manage to take care of Prodigy. We're still hitting upwards of 80% now here. It's pretty back and forth. They get the flip mid-fight, which is going to halt any progress from Prestige Worldwide. Can they knock him off with the self-destruct? Not going to be able to find anything here. Zergling does have a Transcendence if they need it, Hurix, and I think they're gonna have to use it to stay in this fight right now. He pops this one for himself, but I just don't know if they have the tools in place. They have a sound barrier as well, and I think Prestige Worldwide had pulled this back here to have Eli with the tactical visor, but is he in a good enough spot to drop this one?
I'm not sure that that's actually going to come out. I think they're going to have to let this fight go. Krakenlock can try to hold on, but obviously abysmal for Prestige Worldwide that they now have this extra little like 15 seconds that they have to deal with where another push could come out here from Virtue. That's not a mistake that you're used to seeing Prestige Worldwide make, and that's again a testament to how much Virtue has really been down their throat so far.
Get to the point, no! Prestige Worldwide, chill. Oh my goodness, man, how do you even do that? I saw Eli running for the point, but nobody else was around, and they were easily able to knock him out of the way. They have displacement from the Lucio and Krakenlacken on the Diva, and even the Winston jump. I mean, they could body block it. I don't know what they were waiting for. Maybe just a full regroup. Obviously, that's what they were waiting for, Hurix, but it ended up costing them a crucial round when they had the advantage throughout.
And this is the map that I'm pretty sure Prestige Worldwide is going to be able to take. I mean, again, close quarters, their ability to just have all that control. Zergling's so good at being elusive on that position on that character Zenyatta that typically is fodder for a Tracer. You know, it's just going to be tough to deal with them here. If first fight actually goes in favor of Virtue, they might have a shot, but if we do see them falling in this first one, then it's going to be Prestige Worldwide taking this 2-0, and that would be so depressing, I think, to see that, because Virtue has done so well so far in this set.
No matter the result, Virtue definitely earning a place at our hearts here tonight with their excellent performance and actually taking a game off of these guys. But they're not out of it yet, Kyrix. They still have an opportunity. They need to pull both of these rounds in their favor. They have to win both of them. Otherwise, they will end up getting second in this tournament. Valmaster out of the picture early on again here. Not going to be a good start. They're not going to have much of a point presence, especially with Kraken Lacken being demech now. And I think Prestige, yeah, they're going to go ahead and take this one for themselves. Try to press this advantage, get a little aggressive with it. Look for some ult charge, and Nero being dropped late here is not good.
And Prestige Worldwide with so much control in that first fight, and already getting a pick late into that one as Toilet Man lands a couple of headshots with the shurikens, and Artless going to be coming up off of that respawn. I said before how they have to really win that first fight or there wasn't going to be much hope, as Red Start is so good at delaying pushes. He's able to find these picks, but while they're regrouping, make those regroups last even longer, and then free points on the board for Prestige Worldwide. His Tracer is just insane right now, and it's a big reason why Prestige Worldwide is so consistent in their performances and their victories over other teams.
Already sitting at 40% and an arsenal of things to actually work with right now. We'll see what they want to throw at this next fight. Probably not going to drop everything. Oh, but Red Start now being taken out early on is not a good one for them. Regardless, Toilet Man looking to unsheath the blade here, trying to get into the back. It's going to be into a sound barrier and a tactical visor from Eli. Can they find anything? It's a self-destruct from that cleans it up, though it's still a pretty even fight across the board. If Prestige Worldwide can stall this a little bit longer here, they should be in good position, especially with Prodigy ready to go with the Primal Rage. Going to be able to knock them about right now. It's pretty even on the point here. I think that Prestige Worldwide hold on.
Yeah, and they're going to knock that Diva around too, which lends the DPS a little bit of ability to just get in there and provide some more damage, because that defense matrix is going to be tossed all over the place. Prodigy going to go for that health reset off the health pack. That's great for allowing Zergling to help out some of the other members of his team, like Toilet Man, who is taking some pressure there, but is going to be able to help find some more kills. And now they're going to be able to find a late one onto Valmaster.
Oh,
and look at this scoreline.
I think that might be it. They're at 93% and counting here. Can they do anything? Can they get onto the point, QX? With Prodigy out of the picture, they might be able to do something. Did you manage to contest this time around? Push it into overtime. Valmaster now coming back off of respawn, does have that Primal Rage to prolong the hold. Pulse Bomb out, though, is able to demech Kraken Lacken. Nothing to really work with from the side of Prestige Worldwide, so that is good news from Virtue. You have Eli coming up on a tactical visor, ready to go if he can get to a good spot, but it's going to be in a Transcendence here. Overtime, going to take down. That's going to be Prestige Worldwide taking it and taking their third consecutive Academy Gaming tournament. And Hurix, congratulations to them, but boy, what would that have turned out like if Virtue had actually taken that first round?
I mean, that would have been insane for Virtue if they were able to take that, because they would have been able to accept this loss that was certainly going to go their way, and then move into Sanctum, which, again, would have been their play. I mean, Prestige Worldwide, obviously the better team on that map, I would say. Very consistent, I would on Sanctum, and given the fact that we would have likely seen a very interesting comp, especially kind of centered around Toilet Man likely bringing out that Junkrat. It would have been interesting, but it would, again, if Virtue knew that was coming, if they would have anticipated that, like I think they would have, they could have played around it, they could have played against it, and they would have been able to have a better match.